94 and $45,000 in first place prize money. ESPN and the PBA present the championship round finals of the Brunswick Memorial World Open. Welcome, everyone, to Brunswick Deer Park Lanes, located in Lake Zurich, Illinois. Good evening, everybody. I'm Denny Schreiner, along with 14-time PBA champion Mike Durbin. And Mike, our top seed, Eric Forkel, has assembled a very unique year. As a matter of fact, for the first time in PBA history, a player has qualified for all 4 major championships and made it to the championship round.
Yeah, Denny, in the PBA National this year, he finished 5th. In the U.S. Open, he finished 3rd. And in the Tournament of Champions, he finished 2nd. So naturally, he's superstitious and said he has to finish 1st here at the World Open.
I like the way he's thinking. The only problem he's going to have is our number 2 seed, David Ozio. 6th appearance in the championship round this season, and yet no victories. You feel he's in a very opportune position.
Well, he's in that number 2 position, and the advantage there is if you can win the opening match, you have a game's experience on the lanes. He'd be bowling a player that lost twice from the number 1 position already this year, so David is in a good spot.
Bob Larn Jr., our number 3 qualifier. He probably has thoughts of the opening tournament, the Dick Weber Classic, where within 1 shot he had a chance at maybe winning a title. He went from perhaps 1st to 4th.
Well, he threw 1 ball that if he got 9 on that ball and then got a spare, it's going, Denny. He moved on to bowl the title game that he had a good chance to win. He wound up getting 7 and finishing 4th. It cost him over $40,000, Denny. That'll play some bad tape, some bad dreams for you late at night. I guess tonight will tell us whether he's gotten over it or not.
All right, a rejuvenated 45-year-old Butch Soper qualifies for the championship round 3 times out of the last 5 tournaments. He's probably the hottest player on the tour other than Norm Duke.
Well, he's having the hottest stretch of his career right now, and the interesting thing, Dan, is he's doing it from all different angles. Last week, he was playing the 1st arrow. Last night, in the position round, he beat Pete Weber playing the 4th arrow. So Butch Soper, like fine wine, just seems to be getting better with age at age 45.
Better with age. I guess that's an accurate description for the Double D. Dave Deantront, our number 5 qualifier, who broke through and won earlier this year in Portland, and he has bowled beautifully ever since.
Well, and the way he won in Portland was he came from the number 4, number 5 position, won 4 games on television to win that tournament. So tonight, if he can get by the opening match, he could get into a groove and maybe go all the way up.
All right, it's the final Brunswick Memorial World Open from Brunswick Deer Park Lanes. It should be an outstanding telecast. We're ready for the start of match number 1. Butch Soper looking to climb the ladder against Dave Deantront. I mentioned the fact it's the final Brunswick Memorial World Open, but next year in this bowling center, the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions will take this event's place.
Better to go from a field of
64.
Yeah, that'll be the field of 64 down from what they had 192 this year.
Bit of an overreaction. 3-6-10 left for Deantront on lane 23.
Big contrast in styles here. Not only contrast in physical ability or physical size, but in the way they throw the bowling ball. Deantront, a big man, smooth man, big high backswing, powerful release. Butch, one of the smaller players on tour, goes dead straight.
A lot of different ways to get to the pocket and many different opportunities to score in the sport of bowling. That's one of the things that makes it such a great game. You don't have to be a big, strong guy in order to go out there and compete week to week.
And you don't have to be young.
You've proven that.
Well, so is Butch.
Butch Soper, really a remarkable year. Terrific fall series. He comes out with a fastball on lane 24.
And Butch said that the left lane was tighter than the right. Butch Soper, 5-step player, stands all the way at the back. Just kind of pushes the ball down and walks by it right here. See, nice straight arm there. And at the peak of the backswing, right here, nice knee bend. Falls a little higher than shoulder height. Comes through and stands straight up. That straight leg there. Arm out for balance and turns over the top of that ball with a hand release. The helicopter.
Looking for a quick double, leaves a solid 10.
He was having a debate in his mind about 10 minutes before airtime whether he should sand the ball just a little bit more to get it to hit, but he was worried that the ball would hook early if he did that, so I don't think he did it. Week 10, the result.
One point we should probably make right off the bat, the condition right now on this pair of lanes resembling very much what the players faced early rounds all week long. And David Ozio, Butch, a couple of the other guys said that the lanes are quite a bit tighter than they were throughout most of the week.
Right. Osio made bowl with 4 steps tonight because the lanes are tighter.
And with some sanded equipment.
Right. Deantront, he can hook it on ice.
Got a handful there, plenty of room. Ball comes screaming back for a solid 10.
Is there anybody that looked more powerful than Dave Deantront when he gets, as you said, a handful?
One of the reasons why I think that he is developing into one of the real solid week-in, week-out stars on the PBA Tour.
He's improved that spare game, too.
He's paid his dues.
Deantront, 5-step player, holding the ball right about the middle of his chest. Watch how smooth he is. Head's very steady. Now watch the ball, how high that backswing is. He'll drive through. See the nice knee bend right here. Arm out for balance. Follow through right up here. He looks pretty doing it, Dan. That's the result.
Terrific shot on the left-hand lane, so the first strike of the evening for Dave Deantront. Butch Soper averaged 243 plus on this pair of lanes throughout the week. All 5 professionals composite about 233 on this pair of lanes.
Up there.
Pretty high.
Interesting, too. The average age on this telecast is about 37 then. So it's a veteran group.
Excellent shot for Butch Soper. You make a key point there, Mike, in terms of a veteran group on the telecast. And I think when you look at this event, there are 3 squads, A, B, and C. It's a much different type of a format in that you're going to get real tight lanes in the morning, medium in the afternoon, and the lanes are screaming at night. You have to face a lot of conditions. It's a long tournament, so experience you would think would be very valuable.
It's proven out tonight. Time for the double.
All right, beautiful shot for Soper as he doubles up and takes an 11-pin lead early on here in the opening match of the Brunswick Memorial World Open from Lake Zurich, Illinois.
You jerk. I never want to see you again. Oh!
Savan, soft 100% cotton pants. They're the only pants made with Process 2000, so they don't wrinkle, which means you'll always come off looking good, no matter what you've done. How does your Genie screw drive door opener work?
Let me see. I'll be right back.
Well, when we hear the sound of the door, it means Dad's come home.
Once I caught a catfish about this big.
I really can't. I don't know how it turns, you know?
Kara goes in and out with her bike. Jacob's in and out. All the kids are in and out.
You got this big screw, see? And it's real long, and the thing just turns like that.
Any mom with a lot of kids could use a Genie.
Genie screw drive, built for a lifetime.
The championship round finals of the Brunswick Memorial World Open are being brought to you by Savan, 100% cotton, no wrinkle clothing. And by Genie Screwdrive Garage Door Openers, built for a lifetime. Outstanding crowds all week long here at Brunswick Deer Park Lanes for the Brunswick Memorial World Open. Dave Deantront trailing by 11.
Oh, man. 10-pin to 4-pin.
That's what he's saying.
There was some really hard taps this week, and I was watching last night Norm Duke leave a solid 8, and the opponent he was bowling left 2 solid 8s. Just solid 8s, solid 9s, 10s. There were a lot of hard taps.
Don't forget, coming your way, a big college football game on ESPN. CFA returns. BYU needs to continue their winning ways if they expect to get to the Holiday Bowl. Ranked 25th. That one comes your way tomorrow night.
Is that Brigham Young?
Yep. Plenty of airtime in that one.
Yeah.
Literally. The fast-paced offense, and there's some air in between the 2 and the 10 here on lanes, or I should say on lane 23.
Deantront gives this one too much room. Watch him right here. He lets it go. Looks good here, but it just breaks in late, leaving the 2 and the 10. He wants to get it to the left of the 2 pin. You got to hit it, though. And slide it into the 10, which he didn't do.
First open frame of the match, Deantront, who was within $6,000 of what he earned a year ago, has given Butch Soper a few more sticks to work with.
Soper, veteran player. His opponent opens. He's working on a double. You look for him to strike right here, Dan.
Butch opting for a re-rack on lane 24. Ball looked like it almost fell off his hand, but drilled right into the pocket.
Just gave it that little twist shot, that little helicopter shot. This ball held pocket all the way. Watch Butchie. His hand is behind the ball there. Still behind it. Now as he comes down, watch the thumb go left or to our right as he comes right over the top right there. That track is a good 4 to 5 inches below the thumb hole. See the straight left leg there? He's bowled that way since he was 18.
And with the new reactive resin balls, you can get it back and the ball hits pretty hard. Butch is classic players, Mike, that really almost lets the lane do the work in some cases.
He does, Dan. I mean, Butch knows that with the style he has, he's going to have a certain number of taps. Now watch the 2-pin, third from the left, go to the sideboard, come back, and get that 4-pin right there.
Butch with a 4-bagger has opened up a 45-pin lead over Deantront. David trying to make up for lost time with a strike on the right-hand lane.
But to finish my point, Butch knows that he's going to get tapped a certain amount of times. He's very patient. His temperament is even. All the years I've known Butch, I've never seen him get angry.
If he was, you'd never know it. Soper with a possible 280. Striking the first spare in the second and a 4-bagger.
Deantront has already got to be thinking impossibles. 235 is the best he can get if he takes it out.
Good comeback shot, just couldn't get the 10-pin to fall.
Deantront hooks the ball a lot. Larn coming on hooks the ball a lot. Osio hooks it in between. Maybe Soper's got the advantage.
All right, Butch Soper with a lead in the opening match of the Brunswick Memorial World Open. The winner of this game takes on high-scoring Bob Larn Jr. when we return.
See downtown Philadelphia, the West Coast, or the world, see Travel Visions in Mount Joy first. For free services on all your travel planning. Relax, get comfortable as experienced travel professionals guide you through your personalized itinerary. You'll find complete services for strictly business or total pleasure, group travel, or just the 2 of you. Don't just dream about your destination. Journey to faraway places with Travel Vision's unique video library. See how easy travel planning can be. Travel Visions, 1195 West Main Street, Mount Joy.
Tired of that old TV? Fight! Stop standing on the sidelines and call in PBA Audio. You won't miss any of the hard-hitting action with the new home theater system completely installed. Inside, outside, and new construction. We'll tackle any formation, and don't pass on this.
Osio home theater receiver with Dolby Pro Logic lists for $430 now, $369.99. And this home theater receiver from Kenwood lists $330 now, only $279.
Catch all the excitement and see why people keep running back to PBA Audio.
Butch Soper looking for another strike as he got himself an X in the 7th frame. And let's take a look at that strike in the 7th.
Look like almost all the others on this right lane, except the 10-pin goes a little late. Watch the 10. 6 just clips it as it went around it.
Super accurate spare player, Butch Soper. Very seldom ever see him miss a 1-pin spare. He goes for tournaments, Mike, where he might miss maybe 1 or 2 single-pin spares the entire 42 games, or in this case, through 56 games.
Yeah. Well, the only time that would happen is if he has a lapse in concentration.
Deantront just looking to kind of salvage the game. The right-hand lane hasn't been too bad, but the left-hand lane's been the problem.
Yeah. Yep. 1 strike on it.
And a 2-10. That was really where the match changed.
Well, he was still in the match up till then, yeah.
Butchie came in through a double right after that.
Well, Butchie had a double and then made it out to a 5-bagger.
That's right.
But that was the key in the middle right there. Still love the way we watch him bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He's just such a pretty bowler. Another guy with a real even temperament, man. I mean, it's suited for life on the tour out here for the ups and downs of pro bowling.
Deantront with a possible 215. Butch Soper could wrap things up here with a mark in the ninth.
He needs a mark in one of the last 2 frames in order to wrap up the match.
Wait a minute. We've got to see that over. He's blowing out the 5-pin now with that helicopter shot.
I wouldn't exactly call it blowing it out. He tilted it over.
For Butchie, that was a blowout.
He tilted it over. Now watch it. As the ball goes through here, Dan, the ball is just going to barely hit the 5. Beep. Just got it right there.
Butch Soper will move on to match number 2. Well, he got that one inside his target, and when it's going right, Michael, you know that feeling.
I always hated that, though, in a situation where I had the match wrapped up. I wanted to save it. Soper can do no wrong in opening match. Right through the heart of the pins. The head pin comes off, comes right over here and says, fall over 6-pin, and it does. Practice shot here, miss. He's a little shaky in that left lane, really.
Well, after the high shot, you knew he was going to test it a little bit right to find out where the oil line was.
Well, yeah, but the way he's lined up, then he can't throw it right. If he's going high, he's got to parallel everything in and just fall it back more and hope that he either hits flush or gets a light shaker. This is a practice shot for him right here, Dan. Knowing he moved right on that practice shot just to see what would happen. He's getting ready for the next game because he's unsure of himself on that left lane.
Game was well in hand. 244 for Butch Soper. Dave Deantront with a very nice payday in the number 5 position. And when we come back to Brunswick Deer Park Lanes in Lake Zurich, a look at Mike Durbin's final average builder for 1994.
Just one more strike for a 300 gain.
For the inside track on your favorite bowlers, become part of the PBA Fan Club.
All fan club members receive the PBA Media Guide and pro programs along with your official membership card. Also, for a limited time only, this Millionaires Club poster is included.
So don't wait. Call today. Call 1-800-299-4PBA for your membership in the PBA Fan Club.
How much closer are our precision heads? Our innovative lift-and cut system? How much better is the latest Norelco? In a word, we've never brought you closer. The Norelco Razor, our closest shave ever.
With Minwax polyurethane, you can do more than admire your wood. You can live with it, too, because Minwax contains pure urethane oil to protect wood while giving it beauty you can really live with. Minwax keeps wood beautiful.
Hello? Holiday Inn? I need a room.
A room with a place to work.
A room near the elevator.
At Holiday Inn, you'll always get a comfortable room with just what you need when you travel on business. Hello, room service?
I can get airline miles with my room.
And with hotels in more than 1,200 towns and cities across the U.S., you'll get a room right where you need it, too.
I need a meeting room.
Wherever business takes you, your room is waiting at Holiday Inn.
Hello, Holiday Inn. I need a room away from everything.
You have seen the masters of the game, and what have you learned? Chi-Chi's secret of the drive? Albus's feel for the irons? Colbert's path out of the trap? And the labyrinth of your mind? Remember, we all want the lesson. That's why we watch the Golf Magazine Senior Tour Championship. Let ESPN show us the way. Beginning tomorrow at 4 Eastern.
Every week, many of us head off to bowl in our league bowling. And we set about to try and knock down 10 pins at the end of the lane. But how many of us have ever really thought about the bowling pin? What it's made of? Is there a special construction for it? Well, for tonight's Average Builder, that's what we're going to look at. And we got several different things to help us do that. First of all, the bowling pin is made of a Canadian hard rock maple. They choose that for particular strength and density. It's then cut into an 18-piece core assembly that's glued together with an epoxy-based glue that lasts longer than the life of the bowling pin. You can also notice that the grain of the wood is put facing out. That helps it stand up to the pounding of the bowling ball. They then take this and they put it into a lathe that will cut the pin down to look like this. This now meets all American Bowling Congress specifications. From here now, we need a covering for the pin. And most manufacturers have chosen what they call is a hard plastic Surlyn cover. That's the white stuff around the outside. It's similar to the outside of a bowling ball, the inside being the core. And this is the same material that goes over to make up the covering of many golf balls. It will stand up to a lot of punishment. You also notice that there's some holes on the inside of the pin. These are put here to control both the weight of the bowling pin and the center of gravity. If I move these holes up, I change the center of gravity, make the base of the pin heavier, and it's harder to knock over. Contrary-wise, if I move the holes down, I make the top half of the pin a little bit heavier, and it's easier to knock over. Now from there, it goes to another machine that will screen and paint it and put the logos on it, and also finally put a top coat on there so it looks nice and shiny like this. And finally, it gets a base, which is another hard Surlyn cover base. So remember, there's a lot that goes into the making of every bowling pin. And when you go to bowl in league next week or open play, all you have to do is tilt that pin 9.8 degrees and it falls over. We'll see you again next year when we'll have a whole new series of Average Builders.
And here's a man right here that's tilted a lot of pins 9.8 degrees. Gary Dickinson, Player of the Year last year on the PBA Senior Tour. And as the PBA Seniors wrap up 1994, here's a good look at how the top 5 players finished. And there's a marvelous race going on for Player of the Year. Interesting because Handegard leads in average and entitles one, Michael, but Dickinson has the most money.
A lot of great bowlers right there. I take any on my team.
That'd be a nice fivesome there. You'd go out and bowl anybody in league play with those guys. All right, when we come back, Butch Soper, who is fresh from a 244-192 victory, will take on high-scoring Bob Larn Jr.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising. Now, can you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest ball? It's the Rhino Pro line in several distinctive urethane formulations to improve any game. Only at your local pro shop.
You're unbelievable.
It's like ballet with a boom.
Beat the ball.
I like the action. It's action.
8 pins, you're dust. Beat the ball.
It's all in the beard.
The grasp. The approach.
Mine. The shoe.
You're unbelievable.
Somebody.
You're unbelievable.
Beard frame.
I am the ball. Who loves your ball?
You're unbelievable.
Arrow, the maker of the world-famous T50 staple gun tacker, introduces the Brute, a complete line of heavy-duty tape measures with non-slip hook, contoured design with easy-to-work lock. For the professional and the do-it-yourselfer, Arrow measures up.
Cold sufferers, if your pill's so good, how come it doesn't work 24 hours? Effidac 24 does. Other pills last 6 hours or 12, but one Effidac relieves 24 hours. Effidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
ESPN Bowling, wrapping up the 1994 PBA Fall Tour here at Brunswick Deer Park Lanes in Lake Zurich. Capacity crowd on hand. Match number 2, Bob Larn Jr. and Butch Soper. You mentioned opposite ends of the spectrum. In the opening match, we have the same thing here.
It's more comparable in size, though.
Yes, Cranker Deluxe right here, though.
Oh, yeah.
This young man can strike with the best of them if he gets lined up.
That unusual pinfall we were talking about.
Interesting average builder. Most people don't realize what goes into making a normal pin.
A lot goes into it.
That's right.
It's a major industry.
Very scientific. It's physics, Mike. It's physics.
Whatever that. Bob Larn coming in light. Has the 7-10 there until the head pin comes all the way back to get the 10. Butch Soper, who had no trouble on the right lane the whole game. And immediately as I say that, he throws it to the nose.
Well, that was just a bad shot.
Yeah, I know.
That ball was 3 boards left of target. I mean, that may be the most errant shot that Butch has made the entire week.
Well, that happens sometimes. Then when you're playing a tight line and you really don't have any room to the right, you're trying to keep everything a little bit left. That was just too far left. Baby split. Butch would probably make this at least 3 out of 4 times. Well, that's the 4th time. Opens with 9.
I'm very surprised he didn't just hit the ball right in there very nicely. Last time he was on the telecast, he made the 4-9, almost made the big 4, got 3 out of 4.
In the position round last night, he made the 5-7. So he didn't get out of that ball clean then. It hung on his thumb.
Comes back nicely with a strike on lane 23.
Well, Bob Larn got a nice break by Butchie opening in the first frame. That'll loosen the swing up a little bit. 5-6.
Last year earned over $100,000 on the PBA Tour, his best every year, and thus far this season just a little less than 60, but with 45 on top.
He could be right back to last year's total. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what he's thinking.
I'm sure he is.
Plus that beautiful Brunswick Bayliner boat and motor.
Plus he's thinking about 40-some thousand that got away from him in the opening tournament, so this is a way to get it back here tonight.
Ah, that's just like pins in the pit. You got to forget that.
Easier said than done.
I hear you.
A little extra time here. Boy, not as good a shot either.
Bit of a surprise on his face. Stacy looks on, calm, cool, and collected.
She looked a little nervous to me.
No.
Leaves the 6 ball. Switches ball. In between frames there, Butch adjusted the tape in his thumb hole. Added another strip.
Something had to be a little bit different, Mike, for him to miss as bad as he did in the first frame. I'll be real surprised if this shot doesn't hit the pocket.
I will, too. He should be right back in there, I would think. Wow.
Well, we mentioned he made the 4-9. Now he's got the 7 to go along with it.
7's basically inconsequential. I mean, if he makes the 4-9, he can make the 4-7-9. But 2 splits on this right lane that he didn't miss the entire first game.
Is it breaking down that quickly?
Yeah, that ball didn't hold like he wanted it to. That was a better shot, and it just didn't hold. Makes a little adjustment there with his feet.
A good run, but the 9-pin stands. So 2 opens, but as soon as we are done here in the Brunswick Memorial World Open, we'll send you to the University of New Orleans as Al Bernstein is standing by, top-ranked boxing. He and Dave Bontempo with the play-by-play action. How about George on Saturday night?
I saw that 1-2 that he put on. Another 45-year-old here is trying to put on a 1-2.
I had an opportunity to watch the weigh-in, and I watched Al interview both George and
Michael Moore.
Yeah, Michael Moore, and George Foreman was very confident.
Yeah, but he was getting beat the whole fight.
Oh, I know that.
Until the knockout punch.
Well, but
that's why they fight all 12 rounds.
That's right. Pretty much the way it works. All right, Bob Larn. Made all 10 of them go down.
Bob Larn, 5-step player, again holds the ball nice and low. Starts at the back of the approach. Basically one arm from then on out. See how steady the head is as he hits the next to last step. The ball just slightly about head height there. Arms out for balance. Uses his whole body. Look at, he's just lifting with everything up this way. Right straight through that ball. Rolls that wrist through it, Eddie. And that creates the big hook. Too big.
Oh, no. The dreaded Durbin.
I thought Double D was Dave Deantront.
The dreaded Durbin left on 23, but Larn's the type of player that probably makes this fairly easily with his hook power.
It's the type of shot, though, Dan, the way the lanes are, as tight as they are on the outside, that as you send it out to get it to it, you could slip it in the gutter and get 6 out.
He led by 23 before the start of this frame.
Nice shot. Oh, and it didn't get that back pin. Boy,
You were
it looked
exactly
good.
right, Michael. The ball skidded just a hair, and Larn ends up with an open frame, and so this match all of a sudden changes dramatically.
Let's see what kind of adjustment. Butch looking down at the approach and moving a board or two to the left. I know he is, because he's going to play fallback all the way.
I think he took your advice.
I played that angle enough times. I'm familiar with that shot.
Yeah. You're making those moves before he is.
Watch Butchie closer to the third arrow now. In fact, almost right over the third arrow. Ball, very little hook with flush.
Trying to take the lead and can't quite.
Wait.
The 4.
I'll tell you what, if that machine didn't hit it, it was gone. He would have fallen to 9.8 degrees.
So you're telling me if it goes 9.7, it won't fall down?
That's correct.
But wouldn't it rock back the other way? Wouldn't it?
It could rock, and if it was a weak bottom or a loose bottom on that pin, on that sirloin base of that pin, it could fall over, yeah.
All right. Very close match here, game number 2. And there's no doubt in my mind that one of the finest professional staffs assembled in professional sports, the PBA group. They've done a wonderful job this year, and without them, Michael and I couldn't get the job done.
You build a razor with a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave closer than ever before. And what do you get? The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
How does your Genie screwdriver door opener work?
You got this big screw, see? And it's real long, and the thing just turns like that, so the door slides real quiet.
Any mom with a lot of kids could use a Genie.
Genie screwdriver, built for a lifetime.
Life is fun. You've got the pictures to prove it. With the Pentax IQ Zoom 115.
Phil Simms on the importance of the World Cup.
I've always thought everybody should wear one.
After a re-rack in the 6th frame, up by 2 pins, Bob Larn Jr. on the right-hand lane.
Vinny's good lane.
Trying to dance that 10 out, but it holds firm.
I guess that was a head pin that came back off there to almost get that. It was an unusual pinfall there. Switches balls. Goes something much straighter to throw hard and straight at the 10 pin. See, that's smart bowling, Dennis. As much as he hooks it on the first ball, he goes straight.
Larn still leading by 2. I had a chance to chat with Bob and ask him how important it would be to win here tonight, and for a number of different reasons, it would be great.
It would mean a great deal to me. I had a really good friend who passed away from cancer about 4 months ago. I talked to him the day before he passed away, and he asked me that if I might win a tournament that I could possibly dedicate it to him. So tonight I'm going to go out there with that in mind, and I hope I can win it for Willie.
And the man of whom Bob was speaking, the departed Willie Hayes, not only a close personal friend, but a great friend and a great fan of the sport of bowling.
His best shot on that left lane, still didn't strike, leaves the 9 pin. Converts the spare. We got a 1-pin match then.
I think one of the other things really I've enjoyed about this event through the years, Mike, is the fact that it's never been a pushover type condition. It's always been a very difficult,
challenging
exactly,
condition, right?
From pair to pair, morning to night, and I think that's really what tests the best players in the world at the highest level. I mean, you have to have all the shots and a little luck to go along with it.
Well, Butch has had some luck there, right through the heart of the pins, leaving only the 610. Struggling on really both lanes right now.
Two guys that seem to contend with the conditions the best. Obviously, the players seated 1 and 2, Eric Forkel and David Ozio. They are next in line.
The way I see it happening here, though, is Butch is a grind-out type player. And he's just grinding out even though he had a big game last game. Larn is the type that if he could get by this game, he could pop 240 the next game. Wow, look at that pin spin in front of that 7-pin.
Both of them, look at them.
Well, it was a balance effect on both sides of the lanes, you know. That was what you call a moderate ball. We had pins on the left and the left was right, spinning wheel. Gravitating to the center.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. That's your attempt at political humor the day after the election.
Something like that.
I just wish you quit gloating. I really do. This has been a tight match for the last 4 frames. Nobody really with an upper hand.
Strikes are hard to come by. Only 1 double in the match.
A little deeper, more angle, and a beautiful flush hit on 24.
And it rolled out right at the pocket. You see that? It looked like it was going high and quit right at the pocket. Watch this. Right at the pocket. Larn's ball is going to go straight right through here. See, it just kind of quit right there. Flush. It looked like from our angle that it was going to hook high, and it stopped right at the pocket. Up by 4 pins. Boy, more extra time.
Trying to dance the 2-pin down. Boy, that would have been a key double for Bob Larn.
Yeah, but you can't rely on that kind of strike. I mean, it would have been nice in that situation, but he didn't strike on the left lane the whole game.
Good news for him as he finishes on the right lane.
At the 2-pin.
All right, Butch Soper knows what has to be done right here. He still has a possible 203. Best game that Larn could bowl would be 197.
So Butch, if he strikes it out, is going to win, but it seems like if Butch could get a double, that might be enough. It's there.
Excellent shot by Butch Soper, highly professional in the 9th frame.
Did you notice how little time he takes? Butch is so much more relaxed in this match right now than Bob Larn is. It doesn't always win, but right now he's not nervous. He's very confident. He's very relaxed.
Is that something that you concentrated on in your career, Mike? Pre-shot routine, keeping it exactly the same?
Not always. I mean, you get into a rhythm, you get into a feel, and Butch is in that right now, and I think he's going to strike right here.
Fantastic shot right there. One more, and Butch Soper advances into the semifinal.
The thinking is different now, though. I mean, there's a little more pressure on this shot. I don't know exactly why, but psychologically there is.
Well, it's because you locked the match up.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you're behind on the other one. He's ahead now. You would think he'd be a little more relaxed. See a little extra time he's taken there?
difference, though, did it?
Some tremendous clutch bowling down the stretch in game number 2 to close out Bob Larn Jr. But he needs 5 pins to wrap this one up.
I got confidence there.
Yeah, me too. Dennis will throw it right in there. You can count on that. Soper with a very solid finish. Bob Larn Jr. will end up 4th place this week. A nice check indeed. But Butch Soper, who has qualified for the championship round 3 of the past 5 weeks, has qualified for the semifinal. And this man right here, oh, how many semifinals and finals has he bowled in? The great one, Dick Weber.
The best test of yourself is to team up with others. There's something about pulling together that helps you do better on your own. Maybe it's because your effort helps somebody else. Maybe it's because it's not necessarily over just because you have a bad night. Or maybe it's because you never stand taller than when you stand together. League bowling at BPAA Center. It's a whole lot more than a game.
Clearview Lanes in Mount Joy.
Visit J.B. Hostetter & Sons for all your lawn and garden and home appliance needs since 1927. Bringing you quality brand names like General Electric. Select your choice of refrigerators or ranges starting from only $299. Also at J.B. Hostetter & Sons, we feature a full line of GE washers and dryers. Plus, we have free delivery and service after the sale. With factory-authorized, trained technicians to back every sale. J.B. Hostetter & Sons, West Main Street, Mount Joy, Center Square, Elizabethtown, and Dairytown Mall, Hershey.
Alan Dave probably getting taped up for top-ranked boxing, which comes your way immediately following the Brunswick Memorial World Open tonight, live from the University of New Orleans. You don't think Alan Dave will be going out after the fight tonight, do you?
No, I don't think so.
Bourbon Street, watch out. All right, other finishers. Top 24, Pete Weber, Norm Duke. Wow, there are some pretty good players right behind here. Brian Bailey as well with a big week in 8th place.
And, of course, Brian Goebel, an outstanding year all year. Don Mosher, we saw him earlier on our telecast. And Mike Edwards from Oklahoma City.
Very strong. Top 24. Dave Husted, who captured this event a year ago. Jeff Lizzie, who also won his first title here. And Billy Oakes, 13.
14th place, Ed Richardson from down in Corpus Christi. And, of course, the great Walter Ray in 16th spot. Brian Himmler from Ohio, a Buckeye, 17th.
Might be a Bobcat from Cincinnati. Tony Carrillo was 18th this week. Danny Wiseman back in the finals again in the number 19 position. And hard-charging Ryan Schaefer, 20th this week.
21st, Bob Vespi with a big hook. And even bigger hook, Kelly Kaufman, 22nd. 23rd, Gary Schulter.
You know, Kelly tied the record this week for 300 games in a year. He threw his 7th at the World Open this week. Tim Chris, 24th, and the alternate, Mike Miller from Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, the honoree at this year's annual Brunswick Memorial World Open dinner, the Splendid Splinter, Dick Weber. And I guess we're going back a few years with this video.
Yeah, you're going back a few years right there. Does he look like Pete? What do you think?
I think a little bit. A man of many words, Dick Weber, who was honored here and spoke so eloquently at the dinner the other night. Really, the greatest ambassador that we have in the sport of bowling. And there you see, he's probably chatting and signing an autograph for yet another fan. Dick Weber on hand. He's enjoying the action. When we come back to Brunswick Deer Park Lanes in Lake Zurich, Butch Soper, David Ozio for the rights to get to the championship game.
How much closer are our precision heads? Our innovative lift and cut system? How much better is the latest Norelco? In a word, we've never brought you closer. The Norelco Razor, our closest shave ever.
With Minwax polyurethane, you can do more than admire your wood. You can live with it, too, because Minwax contains pure urethane oil to protect wood while giving it beauty you can really live with. Minwax keeps wood beautiful.
The 3M Filtrete microparticle air filter outperforms all other 1-inch filters by getting more of the small stuff that's in your air out, like more dust particles. It also traps pollen and mold, particles that could irritate your allergies. It even gets animal dander. Try the Filtrete microparticle air filter. It gets more of the small aggravating things in your air out, even smoke. Look for the complete line of 3M filters wherever you buy furnace and air conditioner filters.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of light that likes to bend around. You can point me left or right, or hang me upside down. But I'm not the kind of light you have to hang on to. Just use me when you need 3 hands, but you've got only 2. Cause I'm the snake light. They call me the snake light.
It's the hands-free flexible flashlights, new from Black & Decker.
Yeah, well, the snake lights from Black & Decker. We get around, 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 around. Want something to do with a lot of great taste? Well, I know where they make it. It's down at Long John Silver's now. Who'd have thought they'd make it?
This ain't your Aunt Minnie's baked chicken and fish. It's new flavor baked chicken and fish from Long John Silver's. And now you can try our new flavor baked fish sandwich for just $1.79.
Flavor baked chicken, flavor baked fish. Come on in and get your wish.
Nobody makes it like Long John Silver's Flavor Bakes it.
Long John Silver's, go fish.
Hi, I'm Boomer Esiason, and here to tell you about Watch. We're convincing people everywhere that Sunday nights are for football on ESPN. And you know what? The program's working. Won't you watch this Sunday when Tampa Bay plays Detroit?
Brunswick Deer Park Lanes in Lake Zurich, Illinois. A hotbed for bowling.
And right now, David Ozio is hot. The machine didn't quite cycle fast enough. He only got 3 practice shots in, then his normal 4, I think. And we're ready to go, and he's just going to have to
make
muddle
do.
through, right?
That's right. Like a pitcher who didn't get enough warm-up throws.
Something like that.
Parity has been spread around on both 23 and 24. And David Ozio trying to gear up to win a game and maybe get to a title match here in 94.
Don't like it when I see a player shaking his head before the match has started.
Beautiful shot by Butch Soper to open up the semifinal.
You got to realize that in the position round last night, going into the 10th frame, Butch was 1 pin losing. Pete Weber opened, Butch struck. That's why he's here.
Ball goes a touch long for Osio, and he's left with a solitary 2-pin. Kept waiting for that ball to turn, and it did.
Did in practice, but sometimes the adrenaline pumps a little bit more, especially in the opening frames. He's happy he didn't leave a 2-10. 2-pin he can make.
10 national titles to his credit, a former PBA Player of the Year. And my question to you is he a better bass fisherman than he is a bowler?
No. I've never seen him fish, but he's a great bowler. At least in my opinion. Come back to his 5 steps. He practiced with 4 for a while.
Nice reaction on the left-hand lane.
It's all execution with David. Execution and attitude.
A grinder and a stroker.
Butch is much more even keel, though. David goes up and down far more.
Fallback City on lane 24 for Butch Soper, who opens up with a double. For all of our racing fans on ESPN, we've got an outstanding race coming your way from Australia. 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday.
That's their Grand Prix, huh?
Mm-hmm. First time they've been back to Australia, I think, for a few years. They were on the regular circuit there for a while.
Trying for 3. There. Ooh, what a solid 10. Oh, wow, he had that one scored.
Butch was heading back to the bench with a turkey.
Yeah, I mean, that surprised him. That surprised him. What you watch is that 6-pin second from the right. It's going to go right around there in a hurry. That's why I'm sitting there.
No problem at the 10. And Osio on a strike in the second.
See, the thing is, he probably won't move off that 2-pin. He'll probably try and throw it just a hair slower or get through it a hair better, and that's very touchy. He didn't make it. He didn't get the softer speed that he was looking for. He stood in the exact same place. The only thing good about this is he doesn't lose count. Now, he has to decide whether he's going to play this straight from the left and bounce it off the head pin to the right, or try and go to the left side of the head pin and send the head pin into the 610.
Which one has the better percentage?
I would say going to the left of the head pin, but that's not the way he's going to play it, I don't think. He's taking a low friction ball.
Oh, nice shot. What a great shot. 6-10 disappears, and that was a sensational shot.
David is as pretty a bowler as there is in the game. Pushes that out. Look at that nice straight arm swing. The steady head hits us next to the last step. Shoulder high backswing. Left arm out here for balance. At the finish, perfect angle there. And that's how you make the shot just like this. Deadly accurate.
Well, I'll be interested to see what he does next trip on 24. He's got a perfect reaction. Ball hooks back, sets up, and strikes on 23, but 24, he's got some work to do there.
Yeah, he does have some work to do there. The thought going to your mind is if you move to the right, then it's going to go high. That's the fear in your mind.
Well, Soper now with a wrinkled nose as the 5-7 is up. I think I can make that, but I'm surprised it's still standing.
Well, in a way he is, in a way he's not. He expects a certain amount of those. He left one of those in the position round last night, made it like it was the 5-pin. What he's going to do is try and hit the 5-pin right here, send it into the 10.
What's he do with his feet, Mike, or his target right now?
Moves him probably 2 boards to the left, leaves the target the same.
Oh! Well, he had to do it the tricky way. He had to go to the left of the 7 and bounce it back off.
Well, just get a little excitement into it here.
Do you get style points?
Yeah, he gets style points for that. Watch it. 5-pin goes, and then back up. Just like that. Keeps his lead. 7 pins ahead.
Just hope all the fans out there appreciate how great these guys are playing right now on a very tricky set of lanes.
Very challenging. Not easy at all.
10-pin topples on 23. Now, I think really, Mike, for me, this is kind of the shot of the match for David Ozio.
I wouldn't disagree at all. He's got to make some kind of an adjustment, and I don't know what he'll do, whether he'll, again, try and soften up the speed. That's David's style. He varies and fluctuates that touch, that feel. Softer speed, that's what he did. Perfect. Did you see that? See, I mean, that's tremendous talent, Denny. I mean, he did not move his feet. He simply softened that speed and got through that hand. Now he'll throw it slightly harder on this left lane, and that's, again, a touchy thing.
It's like playing the violin.
Or the piano.
Yeah.
Up by 3, can increase it to 13 by hitting his favorite lane. Talking to himself. Perfect. Oh, what a shot.
Like I said, the strike on 24 gave him the momentum. A 3-bagger for Osio, a 13-pin lead. And we'll come back for the completion of the semifinal in the Brunswick Memorial World Open right after these messages.
Rheem is ready to launch a new era in furnaces.
Begin countdown.
5 years in planning. 4 years in development. 3 years in lab testing. 2 years in field testing.
1.
Now there's only one choice in high-efficiency furnaces. Quiet, tough, reliable. The new Rheem 90 Plus furnace. It's taking high efficiency to new heights.
All systems are go.
Lately, Mike and I have been driving around, trying to find the perfect house. It's going to have a fenced-in yard, a little garden, and inside we want lots of windows, hardwood floors, and a big brick fireplace. And just know we're going to find it. I know it.
At Fannie Mae,
We're the nation's largest source of funds for mortgage lenders. Call us for a free guide to get you started on the path to home ownership.
PBA Commissioner Mike Connor on hand to watch the festivities, and also a big award given to Ernie Schlegel for most number of PBA events bowled in.
Ernie, on behalf of the Professional Bowlers Association's entire membership, we'd like to congratulate you on breaking the all-time tournaments bowled record of over 700 tournaments. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mike. I'm looking to keep right on going and set a record that no one will beat.
And knowing Ernie, he probably will.
He'll be bowling when he's 90.
And winning.
Maybe.
There's another guy who might be bowling when he's 90.
And winning. Did you see he and Ernie matched up together in their 80s?
Be a good match.
Oh.
They'd still be competing, though. Soper right back in the match. That was a big double.
The more strikes, the better tonight as well, because the Brunswick Corporation gives away $15 for every pin knocked down tonight to the Special Olympics here in Chicago. And that's always a wonderful gesture by the Brunswick Corporation.
For the lead. Well, Denny, you talked about the shot on this lane the last time being a big shot. This one is too, because Soper's answered.
Very soft inside.
Oh, great shot.
Ringing 10.
Solid 10. Ball just kind of set up in the pocket rather than finishing through as Lisa grimaces and feels it just as bad as David.
I would think that Heather and Haley, the two daughters of David and Lisa, are glued to the television set down there in Vidor, Texas. Don't worry, ladies. It's far from over.
8 pins the difference right now. Soper has it. David has to get himself back on track, get a strike to work on.
Left-hand lane, so at least he gets to finish there, but I think the shot for him again will be in the 9th frame on lane 24.
Well, it's somewhat going to depend, too, what his opponent does, whether Butch keeps striking. He's up by 8 pins, working on 3 in a row. We'll see what he does. Excellent match play record this week.
Trip out the 4 pins all over the place, but it stands.
The pins coming around. You wonder whether it's going to hit or not.
They were left and right. That would have been a major trip of the 4 there.
Major. They come off the right side to get it at the 4 pin. Should be no trouble for Butch.
And it wasn't. An incredible run this fall for Butch Soper, and I asked him, Butch, have you ever had a run like this before in your career?
No, I never made 3 shows in 5 weeks ever. I made back-to-back shows once 15 years ago, but 3 shows in 5 weeks, never done it. It's like all new to me.
He's adjusting real well.
I was going to say, he appears to be enjoying it.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he just keeps throwing them in there.
I know his wife, Dawn, is very excited about his performance over the last month or so. Of course, Jondon and Shane and Sandra as well.
I'll tell you what, these next 2 shots are the biggest ones of the week for Osio. This one and then the next one. If he can get this one.
Has a possible 249.
His fate is in his hand. Oh, he got the 10 out.
Snapped it out, and you see right there how critical that shot was.
Watch the 6 pin. Second from the right. It goes to the sideboard. Back to the 10. gives him a 3-pin lead then. Gives him the opportunity now to lock out the match. He has to take them one at a time.
And while Osio was striking, Soper was putting a little more tape in the thumb hole.
Or can he throw it any better?
This has been the good lane. Oh, look at that pin just laid down in front of the 10, and Osio realizing that that may be the difference between winning and losing.
It certainly may, the way Butch strikes in the clutch. Watch the head pin, Dan. Watch the head pin come back off the sideboard. You know, it looked to me so minute that David's backswing was about 2 or 3 inches higher than the time before, and the speed was just a hair harder. The ball broke a little later. He has the spare, still has the lead, but his fate is not in his hands now. A strike, and he finishes with 228, forces Butch to get the first one in the 10th. He needs 9 at least, Denny, to force him to strike. I'll tell you, one little bitty 10-pin there, a 10-pin in the 7th. Soper, who's hit this lane all night long, 4-pin in the 8th frame, 5-7 in the 4th frame, needs a strike in the 10th.
Osio grasping the back of his head and says, man, oh man, did I just jump right out of the fire there. Soper, a gutsy performance tonight, will end up 3rd. And you can see Butch just flinching himself. He had a chance, and that's all he ever asked for.
That's all Butch would ask for, that's for sure, Denny, because, you know, he struck out to win the last game. I'm sure when Butch got up there, he felt he was going to throw a good shot. He just came over the top a little bit too much, left of his target. It was his fault, not the lane.
Based on Osio's reaction, there wasn't any doubt in David's mind that Butch was going to strike.
No doubt.
All right, Osio and Soper put on a heck of a semifinal show, but sit back and get ready because $45,000's on the line and the championship of the Brunswick Memorial World Open.
Hello? Holiday Inn? I need a room.
A room with a place to work. A meeting room for my sales force.
Now, Holiday Inn makes it easier to choose the hotel with the room that best meets your business needs. New Holiday Inn Select, where business comes first.
You say your rooms have data ports.
Holiday Inn Express for overnight economy. And the Holiday Inn you've always known in over 60 countries around the world. Wherever business takes you, your room is waiting at Holiday Inn.
Hello, Holiday Inn. I need a room where I can relax.
You build a razor with a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave closer than ever before. And what do you get? The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
Due to technical difficulties, we're unable to show you the picture on the new Toshiba FST Perfect. The problem is your set. Unlike the FST Perfect, the world's flattest 35-inch picture tube, your screen is more curved, causing distortion and annoying reflections. We will try to correct this problem by asking you to get rid of your set immediately and buy the FST Perfect. Thank you.
How does your Genie screw drive door opener work?
Push the button on the garage and the door opens just like that.
As opposed to a chain, and if you've ever seen a chain on a bicycle, you'll know that it jerk, 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 jerk,
Genie screwdriver, built for a lifetime.
Life is fun. You've got the pictures to prove it. With the Pentax IQ Zoom 115.
All right, time now to take a look back at our championship frame. And in the opening game, it was Butch Soper in the 7th.
On a string of strikes, then he really was not challenged in this match. Between the 2nd and 3rd arrow, 10-pin falls late. Butch took a commanding lead, went on to win the game rather handily, 244 to 192.
And then it was on to match number 2, and once again, Butch Soper, this time in the 10th.
This time was different, Dan. He needed 2 strikes in the 10th to win. He got the first one. This is the lock-up one. Great clutch player. That's the result. Bang. Solid victory.
202-195. Butch Soper victorious over Bob Larn Jr. And it continued to be the Soper show as it was Butch up with a chance to win the semifinal.
Osio finished in the 220s. Butch needed this to get to the 230s. Left of target all the way. No chance. Leaves the 610. His reaction comes up just short to David Ozio.
Terrific semifinal game. Osio winning 228 to 226. And this really isn't the final stop in terms of the PBA players here in 1994 because a select few will be moving on to the Merit Mixed Doubles Championship. And there you see the players right there that have qualified thus far through the point system to bowl in the Merit Mixed Doubles Championship. Keep in mind that Parker Bone III won that tournament a year ago with Alita Sill. And look at some of the other players in the hunt, and Eric Forkel, obviously, along with Dave Deantront, helped themselves immeasurably.
Bob Larn was on the telecast. Interesting. Osio's not in there.
Nope, didn't quite get there, even with 6 tries in the championship round. And Butch Soper also has yet to qualify for the Merit Mixed Doubles Championship. Always a fun event for professionals from both of the tours. When we come back, we've got a righty and we've got a lefty, and they will vie for the championship of the Brunswick Memorial World Open. We'll be right back.
Some say it's dangerous to manipulate the laws of physics, to tinker with hard and fast scientific rules, to change bowling to its very core. And to our critics, we say, evolve or die. Quantum is a revolutionary urethane ball with multiple core configurations, creating identical reaction and power in lightweight and heavyweight balls, and changing the structure of the game forever.
With Minwax polyurethane, you can do more than admire your wood. You can live with it, too, because Minwax contains pure urethane oil to protect wood while giving it beauty you can really live with. Minwax keeps wood beautiful.
Arrow, the maker of the world-famous T50 staple gun tacker, introduces the Brute, a complete line of heavy-duty tape measures with non-slip hook, contoured design with easy-to-work lock. For the professional and the do-it-yourselfer, Arrow measures up.
Hello? Holiday Inn? I need a room.
A room with a place to work.
A room near the elevator.
At Holiday Inn, you'll always get a comfortable room with just what you need when you travel on business.
Hello, room service?
I can get airline miles with my room.
And with hotels in more than 1,200 towns and cities across the U.S., you'll get a room right where you need it, too.
I need a meeting room.
Wherever business takes you, your room is waiting at Holiday Inn.
Hello, Holiday Inn. I need a room away from everything.
Oh, well, I'm the kind of light that likes to bend around. You can point me left or right, or hang me upside down. But I'm not the kind of light you have to hang on to. Just use me when you need 3 hands, but you've got only 2. Cause I'm the snake light. They call me the snake light.
It's the hands-free flexible flashlight, new from Black & Decker.
Yeah, well, the snake lights from Black & Decker. We get around, 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 around.
Well, one of those 2 gentlemen will be placing that beautiful trophy on a mantle when we are finished up here at Brunswick Deer Park Lanes. Eric Forkel, David Ozio, good buddies indeed, will now bowl for the rights to the title.
Forkel doing the wise thing right off the bat. Going to make Osio finish on that right.
Osio loose, warmed up, and lined up on 23. Comes out with a strike. And I think you're exactly right, Mike. An excellent choice by Forkel.
He better be lined up ready to play, too, though.
I think he probably is. Came out and led this tournament by nearly 500 pins. As a matter of fact, the 3 tournaments he's led here in 1994, he's led by over 1,000 pins, right?
Kind of like Anthony used to do.
Right. Just kind of lapped the field here this week.
This is his Waterloo, though, now. I mean, you improve. I'll get it out.
Try it again.
You know, you improve in levels. You know, his level right now is to win on television. That's where he's struggling.
His opponents have bowled pretty well against him as well, and that never helps.
Well, you expect that, though, Dan. I mean, last week, you think Dave Ferraro had a couple of 250 games shot at him. You don't even remember that because he bowled 280 and 270.
Right. Good point. I think once Eric does break through a couple of times, he'll be a very dangerous type player in the championship round. Highly skilled, highly talented. He strikes, and in the middle of his approach, about when he let the ball go, the rack came down on 24. That was excellent concentration.
Well, you know what happened there was that David is instructed to tell the tournament director if he wants a re-rack on the right lane. He told him. The tournament director, then Johnny Campos, will tell the guy in the back. He did, but the guy in the back pushed the button too quick. And
so the machines are too efficient.
Yeah, they were too quick at that time. Forkel did show tremendous concentration. Yeah.
Didn't even flinch. You know, it's interesting, too, Mike. I know he has softened the speed, but from the first 2 or 3 shots on the right-hand lane, I think David moved everything left. I don't think he's swinging the ball nearly as much.
Certainly did on that lane, but he is swinging it on that left lane.
Right, because he knows it's coming back.
He's just brimming with confidence on both lanes right now.
You made an accurate assessment, too. He's a very emotional player, and when he senses and feels confident, he's a tremendous player and a great friend of the sport of bowling. They're the #1 promoter, I think, in the world of the sport of bowling, Jack Reichert.
Certainly has been a promoter for bowling to be in the Olympics. Has to hurry.
Ball went long. 10 pin had a notion for a moment, but stands on the left-hand lane.
Just a little faster on that left lane that time. He's not getting away with anything, you know. It's not dead flush city. He's not striking.
Well, that's what I like about this condition.
It's definitely a challenging condition, but you can master it as these guys have done.
It's like trying to make a 5-footer, Mike. You got to make it dead center. Anything a little left or a little right may not go in. It's still a good putt.
Right now, Forkel just wants to make a good shot to get himself even in the match.
A little more loft. Nice reaction, and the 7-pin is kicked right out, and Tricia obviously liking that reaction.
She sure looks nervous, doesn't she?
Well, she should be nervous.
Forkel, very solid player all the way around. Classic approach, in time all the way through. Watch him, he pushes it out. Coming right at you here. Look at how square he is right through there. Look at that follow through and the squareness, the knee bend here. That's the way you teach it, Dan.
The 6-pin kicks out Forkel with a double of his own. And we've got ourselves a match here in the title game.
It's going to come down to who carries. Right now, Forkel goes high. The 3-pin kicks out the 6 and the 10 both. Gives him an 11-pin lead. Osio on these more difficult of the 2 lanes.
I'm going to tell you what, I don't think it's more difficult for him anymore.
He's found something, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's thrown the ball flush, 4 consecutive shots on that right-hand lane.
Well, the 9th frame is a little bit half pocket, but who's quibbling, you know? Right now, the trouble is, though, that he's not striking unless he stuffs it, and he's got to strike here to get right back, put the pressure back on Forkel. 16 years on tour. It's a long time. Battle him out here.
To look that young.
Couldn't quite read his lips there, what he said. He's talking about how he wants to throw it.
No, he says, not the 7-10. Lisa laments, and for David Ozio, a pocket 7-10, and that'll just kill your chances.
Yeah, double tap.
Double trouble.
Double trouble. ET either way. At the 7-pin, hard and straight. Bounce it out. No.
Just a fraction, maybe a quarter of an inch, and that's a flush strike or a blowout type situation. Forkel realizing right now he can pretty much grab the tournament.
Oh, yeah. That's high. All the way. He knew it and didn't throw it well at all. Smiling, I mean, at his own inefficiency on that particular shot.
I mean, I think he missed 3 boards on the right.
He definitely, I mean, he just never let go of this. Watch him throw it. The thumb and fingers come out all at the same time. I mean, he's right up the first arrow, and he's aiming left of it. He's lucky to get 7 and no split. Switches balls at the spare. Trouble. Nope, he's got it.
Hung on for the conversion. The string stops at 3, though, and Osio's down by 20, so he's by no means out of this match.
No, but interesting, the lane that he was hitting so well the first game, lane 23, he's struggling with a little bit right now. Just a hair. I mean, he's in the pocket, but it's just not striking.
Terrific shot that time by Forkel, and you know one thing, he was hoping, and he's probably wishing right now that he could have had the shot back on 24.
Well, it's a mental game so much, and the pressure in his mind at that point, he just wasn't up to the occasion. Right now, Osio needs to regroup, keep throwing the ball well on this right lane to get something to work on.
A little more speed. See, that lane is no problem. He gets to finish on that lane. That's what Forkel's probably saying to himself right now. Geez, why didn't I let him finish on the left lane?
You know, you talked last match that there was a key shot for David Ozio in that match against Butch Soper, and he struck on the right lane. This time, I think this is the key shot on the left lane. Gets him down only 10, back in the match. Got it all. He got it all. Did you see that hand on that shot?
A magnificent shot by Osio.
They make the gals sit together.
Oh.
There's Lisa's reaction. Come on, Carrie, please.
A little lean forward, and Tricia says, all right, great shot.
Here's his shot. That ball finished over the 8-pin den.
10-pin match. Forkel trying to come back with a double of his own. Man, shakes him up, but can't get the 10-pin to fall.
Big shot there. Big shot there. Because now Osio can even the match on a lane he has not missed this game. This one's going back and forth then. It's going to come down probably to the player that can perform in the 9th and 10th that's going to win this tournament. At the 10-pin, no trouble.
Forkel now in the 8th, struck on the left-hand lane the last trip. Matter of fact, he hasn't missed this lane yet.
Right. Osio trying to come back from that pocket 7-10 in the 5th frame.
Plenty of roll. Oh, my. Excellent pin action on lane 23. That was an aggressive shot. He gave it more room.
And that's the lane he gets to finish on. So both players are going to finish on the lane that they like. He comes in light. Gets nice pin action off there. Osio now has to take advantage of the strike that he got on the left lane. This time in the 8th frame. This evens the match. quick with that follow-through. Just a hair quick with that follow-through. Just didn't follow, the hand followed the ball just quite long enough. The ball broke a hair early and leaves the 4-pin. Keeps him behind by 11 pins. Really puts Forkel in the driver's seat.
Just a fraction of a second, and that's a flush hit.
I mean, you know, he's bowled a great game. A 10-pin, pocket 7-10, a 4-pin. He's got to strike here, Den, to give himself the opportunity for 226.
Eric, meanwhile, 247 a possibility.
But even if Eric doubles, see, if he doesn't get 3 in a row and he loses count, it would wind up 226. A tie is a possibility here, so but David's got to strike here.
Just some masterful play here on a challenging lane condition. 23 and 24. These two guys have really bowled just about as good as a pair of guys could for 45,000.
And it comes right down to the 9th and 10th. Up by 11, can increase it to 21 right here.
Shot of the week for Forkel.
He still has another chance. The same shot he had in the 7th framer. He makes this 3 in the 10th, and he's a winner. He hasn't missed the left lane.
I think Eric felt he threw that ball well enough to come away with a strike.
Same as the shot in the 8th frame, only that one struck. Just different pin reaction. Keeps the match at 11 pins. A little thin there, but he got it.
Well, this one's come down to the 10th, as it should.
As it should. It's going to come down to the last ball. By one of them. I mean, tie.
Oh, what a break. What a break. Pin clipped from behind, and now, after that break, Forkel has an opportunity to get the job done.
The ball was right at target, but it held more than I thought it would. The 3-pin spins around and hits the 6.
So did he.
Yeah.
A 360 by Forkel.
This one puts him in the 220s. Gives him the opportunity to lock the tournament up.
Oh, that's the kind of shot you want to make in the clutch. As Eric looks up and says, I've been there twice already this year and haven't been able to get it done.
So as we said, it comes down to the last ball as we see the replay of Forkel's perfect 11th frame shot. A strike, and he's a winner. 9, the best Osio can do is tie. Less than that, and he could lose.
Looking for a ball. Oh, David Ozio hitched up his pants. Forkel can't believe it didn't hook back, and now as he looks at the board, he realizes what could happen. Osio, if he strikes out, wins by a shot.
Got to take it one at a time. He's got to have this one. I mean,
a big smile for Lisa, I think, telling her just to relax.
He's got to have exceeded the 25-second rule in this frame.
Oh, what a carry.
One down.
2 to go.
Forkel, not looking, but has to peak. You know, this reminds me of Edmund a few years ago when this same bowler needed 3 strikes to beat Del Warren and did it.
Will it hook back?
No. Forkel wins. Forkel wins.
Forkel fell down to his knees, and Osio says, let me just ride him on home. Oh, my, Eric Forkel has done it all this year and finally comes away with a title. What a great finish here at the Brunswick Memorial World Open.
Carl Beasley Ford to see all the exciting new 95 Ford models, including the 95 Ford Escort, the best-selling small car in America for 12 straight years. The Ford Escort has more repeat buyers than any car in its class. Or the new Ford Contour, a world car built from the ground up by the most innovative minds in our worldwide Ford company. See both new models at Carl Beasley Ford, 1801 Whiteford Road, York.
Diamonds beyond all of your expectations at Kozer Jewelers.
The world's finest drivers in the world's fastest cars. Compete Sunday morning at 8 Eastern in the Grand Prix of Australia. Formula One, the art of motor racing on ESPN.
The championship round finals of the Brunswick Memorial World Open are being brought to you by Black & Decker, the makers of Snake Light and other innovative household products. In addition to the $45,000 to Eric Forkel, a fantastic Bayliner boat and motor. Eric, a sensational title match. The president of Brunswick Bowling Division, Fred Forjanek, has a wonderful trophy to present to you.
Eric, congratulations. What a fantastic finish. On behalf of Brunswick Corporation, here's this beautiful crystal trophy for the winner of this Memorial World Open.
Thanks a lot, Fred. I'd like to thank everybody at Brunswick for making this tournament happen. Brunswick's a great corporation.
All right, quickly, Arnie has a great check to provide as well.
Hey, Eric, it's been a great week for Brunswick and even a better ending for you because you got the trophy and you got the boat motor and a trailer. You helped us raise $26,000 for charity, and you have something else before I give you this check. You have the opportunity to be the only bowler in the world to win this tournament twice in less than 6 months. So here's the first down payment, okay? $45,000. Nice going.
All right, thank you very much. That's all the time we have as Eric Forkel walks away with a Memorial win. The PBA Tour has wrapped up its run on ESPN in 1994, but the LPBT Tour still has a couple of tournaments left. Next in line, the South Bend Open. And you can see that show Monday, November 14th, beginning at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. And coming up next on ESPN, Top Rank Boxing live from the University of New Orleans. Join Al Bernstein and Dave Bontempo for all the action.